Hi there, I'm Kim from sunny Arizona.
And I'm Kara from vibrant Atlanta, Georgia. Welcome to our channel, the Kara and Kim Live Podcast.
We're both seasoned realtors with a passion for all things real estate. From market trends to insider tips, we're here to guide you through the journey of buying and selling homes.
But that's not all. We'll also take you on a journey getting to know various small business owners.
Whether you're a first-time home buyer, need more space for your growing family, or just curious about the market in Phoenix, Arizona,
or a seasoned investor, or you're looking for insights about the Metro Atlanta area, we've got you covered.
Our podcast is designed to be informative, engaging, and a bit fun too.
We love interacting with our listeners, so don't hesitate to reach out with your questions or topics that you'd like us to explore.
Subscribe to our channel and join us on this exciting journey. New episodes will be coming your way regularly, filled with fresh content and expert advice.
So hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and let's do a deep dive into the world of real estate together. Welcome to the Kara and Kim Podcast.
Hi guys, it's Kim with Hunt Real Estate. Wanted to introduce you to Matt Jenks. Matt, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Absolutely. I am a residential home inspector. Been doing home inspections for almost 20 years.
Wow.
Goes by quick.
Yeah, it does.
We do a little bit of commercial work, smaller commercial buildings, but primarily residential homes.
Okay.
Along with home inspections, we do pool inspections, termite inspections, sewer scope inspections. We, of course, evaluate any sheds that are alongside the homes. We do thermal imaging as well, which helps us take a little bit more of an in-depth look at things that could be going on.
Because you can't necessarily see behind the walls.
No, nobody can.
Yeah.
And if they could, they'd be a very good home inspector.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But that gives you a little look behind the walls, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It lets us see ideas of what's going on. It lets us know a little more of what could be there. There are 6 of us currently, so we're a multi-inspector firm, which is great for scheduling because there's a lot of us available on short notice, as you know.
Yeah.
And it's been great. I can't complain. Arizona's a very busy place. It's a great place to have a home inspection company and be involved with real estate.
Yeah, for sure. What areas do you cover in Arizona?
As far as Arizona goes, it's primarily around Phoenix and all their surrounding communities. We go as far north. We've been up to New River, Anthem areas. We go as far south as Casa Grande at times. Far east out as Mesa, Gilbert, Chandler. And west, we've gone on the south end of town, the Buckeye, Avondale out there. And then up the northwest, I guess we've gone out to, not Wickenburg, Whitman is the city I'm thinking of. So it's a pretty big area.
Yeah, definitely.
Unfortunately, my guys are placed all over, so it makes it convenient.
Good. Perfect. Well, I have a couple questions for you here today. One of the questions that I get a lot is, why should a buyer get a home inspection?
Great question. Well, mainly because it's very helpful. Home inspections are very critical because they help the person buying the property, whether they currently own it or they're buying it, have more information about what is going on in that house. So we are essentially problem finders, and we go into this property and we look for anything that could be a small problem indicating a big problem, or if there's already a big problem sitting there and the current owner might not know about it.
Yeah.
So it really helps them get an idea of what to expect, what sort of equipment is at the property, what sort of setup the house has as far as how do the bathrooms work, how does the plumbing work, how does the heating and cooling work, all the main systems with the roof and the foundation, pools, anything that could be on site at a property, what to expect.
Okay.
We don't really go in there and find cost to fix stuff. Of course, that's not allowed, but we're really in there just to see what's going on, what they can expect, and what potential issues are there.
Yeah, to
Really.
give a picture of the home.
Yeah.
One of the things I like to talk to my buyers about is that we're really telling you what's happening with the home. It doesn't really mean that there are a lot of issues or things that need to be done, but at the end of the day, you like to know like the ins and outs of what to expect, whether it's something that the seller needs to repair or not. What's happening in this home.
Well, absolutely. Being informed is super critical when you're buying a house. And sometimes people say the inspection is great to help them make a purchase decision. Great, there's nothing crazy going on, let's buy it. Or sometimes it's, well, there's these issues, let's talk about it.
Sure.
And figure out what's best for them.
Yeah, definitely. I've definitely seen that happen. Would you recommend for a seller to get an inspection before they list it?
Well, sure. We do primarily much more on the pre-purchase side from people buying, but for people selling their house, we do a few of those a couple a month, and people really like to know same ideas. what is going on with my house?
Yeah.
What can I expect? The catch with those kind of things is I don't think we've ever gone out to do the inspection from the buyer's side for one that we've done for called a pre-listing inspection for people selling their house. So the person you get coming behind me or us might not be as detailed, or they could be over detailed. So the home inspection scope is generally big, important stuff. We're looking for what could make a deal breaker. A lot of the little things, people don't generally care too much about them.
Right.
But we try to catch all that stuff and then let the current owner know. And then sometimes I've heard from people doing the pre-listing inspections, they have our big list of stuff, they fix a ton of stuff, they tell the new buyer, hey, look, we've already done all this stuff.
Yes.
A handful of times the buyers thought, well, it's only been a short amount of time. Great, we don't need one, let's move forward. So it can be very powerful from a seller's perspective.
For sure.
If that's their idea.
Yeah,
they want to
definitely. I do have times that I recommend it for my sellers.
Sure.
Most of the time I don't, because they know the gist of it.
Yeah, especially if they've been there more than a couple of years.
Right. And so a lot of times it's better for the buyer just to do their own inspection and let them pick out what's important to them. But there are some situations that it is beneficial to have a seller do the pre-listing inspection.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Knowledge is power.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. What does your home inspection process look like? And what do your inspectors specifically look for?
Sure. Well, specifically, we're looking for the big deal-breaking problem, if there is one. A lot of times, most of the time, there isn't.
Yeah.
But that's what they're looking for. We're looking at everything from the roof to the foundation. We're getting very detailed with the structure of the house, the roof, how well is the roof held up over time. If there's an attic, we're in the attic looking at the insulation, we're looking at the structure, we're looking at anything in the attic, a lot of heating, cooling, electrical, plumbing. We're checking all the bathrooms and the living areas. We're looking at walls, the windows, the plumbing inside the house.
Water pressure and all of that.
Sure, water pressure. We're opening the electrical panels, looking at how the wires are connected, getting really as in-depth as we are allowed to, and sometimes even a little more. The state of Arizona doesn't require us to do some things. Some of those things being irrigation systems, low voltage stuff. But we've learned over the years that those are hot buttons for clients. So we still look at them as in-depth as we can.
Yeah.
We try to go a little beyond what the requirements are because we can. Just because we're not required to look at something doesn't mean we don't have to.
Right.
We're really there for the person buying the home inspection, purchasing the property, whether it's a buyer or in this case, someone selling their house like you were talking about.
Okay.
And we use very detailed reporting. We take a lot of pictures. Pictures are great as far as explaining, here's this, here's that, here's what we found for a problem. We do supply a bunch of different reports. You'll typically get 3 or 4 reports through a home inspection. One of them is a summary that breaks down everything and very easy to understand detail. You'll get a full report, which I jokingly refer to as the boring one because it's got everything in it. A couple hundred pictures, all the detail about the house. You'll get a termite report. Most people do a termite inspection, and they'll see the breakdown of where the termites are or what we found related to termites. And if they do a sewer scope, which is a detailed camera line evaluation of the underground sewer lines, you'll get a report on that as well. And of course, pool as well, if it has a pool. So you can get a lot of different reports, and we break it down very easily and make it very easy to follow and understand, so that for people that aren't familiar with real estate or homes, like we dive into every day, right? It's very easy to follow and understand, which I think makes it great because you can just follow along real easily. Yeah,
the reports are pretty easy to follow. I've had quite a few that I've done with you. The reports are very detailed and very easy to follow. It's a lot easier for me to walk through with my buyers to explain what's going on with the house, what the findings were. When I can point to on this page, this picture is showing you this, that's what it looks like, here's what it's supposed to be. So it definitely helps.
All by design.
Yeah, perfect. Well, it's working.
Yeah, thank you.
How do you and your team handle it when you actually find issues or red flags while you're walking through the house?
Great question. Well, it honestly depends on the issue. If a doorknob's loose, okay, we're going to write down the doorknob's loose. We're not really going to evaluate it much because it's loose.
Right.
If we find something more critical as a water stain on the ceiling or a crack in a wall or a potential electrical issue, we're going to approach it from the point of view of, okay, what is causing this, just so we can kind of get a little more detail on it. If it's a 2-story house and it's a leak, we'll run the bathtub a little more, maybe see if the leaking happens more. We use our thermal imaging cameras to look if stuff is wet, if electrical is hot, anything that could maybe be a safety issue. There's been times where we've been walking through a property and we smell gas. Okay, well, it's an occupied house. Does the seller know about this? We've done plenty of properties where you smell gas, you call the gas company right away, and they're pretty much there before you hang up the phone.
Right, yeah.
As
They
funny as
don't
that
mess around
sounds,
with that.
they don't mess around with gas leaks. And if there's something critical, a safety issue or a problem that the seller really should know about, open gas vent in the attic or open electrical somewhere, we'll definitely let them know.
Mhm.
A leak that won't stop.
Yeah.
It depends on what it is,
Okay.
but we'll definitely look into it as much as we can. And as I said before, we're primarily problem finders, but we know that this can have a big impact on the seller if if we left a leaky something going.
Sure.
We're not going to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we try to probe around a bit and see what's going on and get more detail. And sometimes we can find the source, but if we can't, we still always recommend bringing in a professional, plumber, roofer, electrician, whomever, finally figure it out and get it corrected as needed.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Okay. So when you do the inspection, whether it's for a buyer or seller, and even if it is for a pre-purchase, do you recommend the buyer and or seller to attend?
Yes, absolutely. The best time to attend is towards the end when we're wrapping up. We're never going to tell our clients not to be there. I mean, that's just silly.
Yeah.
But it is best if they show up towards the end because they're going to have questions. We're going to want to show them stuff. If we can be there unobstructed for a while and get our job done, we tend to move a little quicker.
Sure.
But hey, we've had people follow us around and ask a lot of questions. And, my general history with that is once they see that we know what we're doing, we know what we're looking at, we have a pre-planned routine. All right, well, these guys know what they're doing. I'm going to maybe check my email. I'm going to, ease up a little bit. And I always tell people, bring a big list of questions. We'll go over all that. We're here for you. You're paying us to be here to represent a home inspection for you. So
Right.
you can come. But we do a lot of work with people out of state who can't make it, investors. That's okay too. We can phone conference. We've done lots of FaceTime.
Yeah.
We've done videos where we record stuff and then send it to the client. It's all easy. The
Yeah.
technology makes talking to clients so easy and so accessible. It's encouraged for sure. Because some things you see in person sounds scary, but when you talk about it, okay, it's not really a big deal.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely want to show up when you can.
I tend to go to all the inspections. I go to the wrap-ups. So
Yeah.
I show up at the end. I encourage all my buyers to do the same.
Yeah.
Show up and we'll walk through. One of the things I do like about your team, you guys are very thorough. We walk around the house, outside, inside, and you point out the things that you found, the big things that could be safety
Sure.
issues and things like that.
That's why we're there.
It definitely gives the buyers an opportunity to see it firsthand, ask questions about it. Is this a big deal? Can this easily be fixed? None of us are experts in the repair part of it, but a lot of things we see regularly and we know these are not that big of a deal.
Sure.
Or yes, we may need to have a specialist come in and check this out a little deeper.
Agreed.
So,
Yeah, the big areas for anybody to look into more detail, the roof, heating, cooling system, plumbing, electrical, pools, and structure foundation. You find a big issue there, you're going to want to know more detail with it for sure.
for sure. Yeah, definitely. Well, I think this is helpful. I think this information will definitely relay pretty well to
Awesome.
the listeners. Anything else you want to add?
Well, no. I mean, that's a great list of questions. Look forward to hearing from you and your clients again soon,
Perfect.
for sure.
Yeah.
And thanks for having me. I really appreciate
Yeah,
it.
of course. I appreciate it. If you guys do have any questions, we'll have some contact information for Matt and his inspection team. If you have any questions for him or myself, definitely let us know. Otherwise, thanks so much for coming.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah.